the game and trying to get back into the server. Before I did get DC'd though, we had 9 players on the server, so we should be good to jump live pretty shortly on Mirage, which is the last map of tonight's proceedings here, at least on the EU portion of ESL Pro League on the B stream. So let me have a quick look-see in. We have still 9 players on the server. So I will just do some magic here, because my game crashed. I have some settings to put in quick. And we should be good to go in warm-up. Get yourself a fellow caster. Forever alone, Swedish. Forever alone. I don't know if I want to predict a score, Gani, because I did in the previous map and I was like 16-13 with NaVi winning, and then NaVi got ruffle stomped. So, yeah. If I had to make a score prediction, I'd probably go 16-12 NaVi on Mirage. I feel like Mirage should be NaVi's map. But after that first map performance, I'm not entirely sure where I come down on this one, because Dignitas looked really good. And NaVi in particular, Simple, was completely absent for that first half. He had 11-4, I think, after the first half. Didn't have the greatest of times. If you have issues with sound, guys, all you have to do is refresh your stream. It's a known issue here. Refresh the stream, refresh your browser, and you will be good to go. It should fix all those issues. But we are live now into the second map with NaVi assuming the T side. Dignitas with what looks to be a retake setup. Got Magic on the CT boxes. Now Cajun is making a move towards the connector, so they're not going to be setting up properly for the retake just yet. Guardian landing the shot onto the very top of Magic's head. It will be a kill. Config will be hiding in the CT side. The smoker is going to keep him at bay alongside Cajun B, and this is looking like a solid take thus far for NaVi. Cajun is going to come in though and try and spoil what's been a flawless round so far with a headshot onto Flamey. Rubino now from behind should have his pick of whichever players he wants, and him and Cajun both chime in for frags. Meanwhile, Guardian, still the P250, is tapping away to his heart's content. He's so low on health though, he should die any second now. They line up for Cajun, and Config will take the second kill from under him. Bomb defused in the smoke, and Dignitas with a successful retake. NaVi did get the bomb planted, so they have decisions. If they want to go for AKs into the next round, they can. And have a minimal investment into this one. We shall have to see. I bet my soul on NaVi because of you. I hear the hounds. Ubadoofa. Bruh. You should never listen to my predictions, dude, because they're mostly wrong. NaVi will be pushing through the smoke, looking for a bomb plant, but Magic's there with the FAMAS and the AK. Oh my goodness, it's a bloodbath. In the space of about 1.5 seconds, the entirety of NaVi gets silenced. But, as highlighted before, with a low investment into round 2, they can afford AKs here. Edward could go for a Galil if he wants a little bit more utility. Let's see, he's deliberating over this. He will get the AK, after all. That is going to be just with the one flashbang. They have 3 smokes, that's more than enough to execute onto either side. Damage being inflicted across the board into mid. NaVi going to have to contend with that grenade. It does do minimal damage onto Guardian. He was already tagged up. I think the damage inflicted from the grenade was like 10. But in the meanwhile, all of the trades going their way in mids, and Magic is the only player left. They know he is the A player from the last couple of rounds. So I can feel pretty happy knowing that B should be fairly clear, but they're not giving anything away. You can see though NaVi have a 1v5 in their favour. They're not rushing into any sites just yet. They're playing this one very slow, giving Magic the respect. This is allowing Magic to get its way all the way around the back of the T spawn. Could be a bit of a thorn in the side, but I honestly feel like he's probably just going to go for a save. Doesn't make too much sense for him to go in for broke here. They could afford a buy into the next round, especially if he saves this for mass. But he is moving into position to maybe strike here, looking for an extra frag. Of course, if he could pick up one of these AKs, that would be even better. A lot more firepower into the next round for Magic, but he is going to have Guardian potentially coming up round the back. Let's look on board from his perspective. So Guardian could easily have Magic's dead and buried. He does check round the side. This timing is impeccable for Magic. If he's in this position, he's dead. If he was where he was before, on the other side of the wall, he's dead. But he managed to dart himself around at the right moment, and he's okay. Right, last time I'm going to say this, bros. And then, chat, you need to have my back, right? If anyone asks about the delay. Problem with the delay is Twitch related. You have to refresh your browser, refresh your stream, and it'll fix all the sound delay issues you have. Everything will be fine if you just refresh your browser. Oh, Magic with such an aggressive push. He's only going to get 1 kill for his troubles, though, and that's not a good enough trade for the CTs. Now NaVi can go in for the jugular. They can stamp down their authority on the A side. Seas goes for the spray. Erratic spray and does get punished courtesy of Rubino. And meanwhile, Guardian and the rest of NaVi are trying to get some kind of a stranglehold onto the A side. The problem being that the likes of MSL are still here. They haven't got rid of most of this defense. MSL is going to spam through the smoke. Lands the 1 frag. Very close to landing a second one as well. Spraying almost a perfect circle around Flamey. And now it comes down to Guardian, who knows MSL was the final player over on the CT box side. 100 health. Plays 52, but it is Guardian who's being tagged up through the box down to 20. He will fall. It's going to take some sexy play for Guardian, and instead he decides, okay, you've bested me here. Narrowly missing out on the shots does MSL. You've bested me on A. I'm going to run to B. I'm going to get the bomb planted. And now you have to aggress onto me. Now I can play the mind games instead. MSL's making so much noise, but gets the spray down. Guardian's going to miss out on his chance, and Dignitas will indeed take a 3-1 lead. NaVi will have a buy coming through, and it's going to be a solid buy at that, but Dignitas just about holding on for dear life. It looked like the round had maybe slipped away from them. But they're going to be okay. Config could drop an AWP if they're desperate to pick one up. Into the hands of Cajun. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He'll trade out a FAMAS in return. The rest of the players filling in with M4s and grenades. MSL nearly, though, not quite landing onto that shot. So close yet so far. However, both teams will be coming into this with a relatively healthy buy. Of course, NaVi have the upper hand in terms of that. You can see in the equipment value, they have a higher amount going for them. Ooh, we could see what Guardian's thought process was. Peering his way through, taking point for his team. Such an integral part of the map is catwalk onto short. Gives the terrorists something to work with. Guardian had a couple of glimpses of MSL, but Edward has been put down courtesy of Cajun B, and that's going to force the hand of the terrorists that were on short to turn their attention and be divided and potentially conquered. Rubino from the side is going to get the backside of Guardian, just sees his ass sticking around the corner. And we'll put him in his place. And Dignitas in prime position to pick up a 4th round. Boost into window, we'll see Seas try and salvage a lost round, a lost cause, but Config is going to give him no such chance. Simple. He'll be facing MSL. There's so many angles he has to watch out for. For all he knows, someone's on short peering up towards the window, and he just gets his head taken clean off as soon as he comes around, so he can't take anything for granted. But now that Flamey's got himself a kill, that's pretty important. But MSL's position takes Simple out and stops this B push in its tracks. The bomb's out. There's 10 seconds left. All the CTs have to do is play the time. That's exactly what Rubino's doing. Very intelligently. Flamey's given this one up. He's going to be hiding behind the van and hoping for the best. If he dies now after time, this will be absolutely brutal, but it looks like he will be okay. Still, Dignitas do pick up a 4th round, and now NaVi will only have an AK to play with. Do they go for a force? We saw a lot of aggressive force buys on Cobblestone, and that's going to be the case here again. They know that Dignitas' economy isn't too fantastic, but we saw these kind of buys really get them in a lot of bother on Cobblestone. They went for 3 or 4 of these in a row on their T side, and it took Dignitas from an 11-8 lead to actually winning the map outright. So these are the kind of buys that can really screw up the early stages of this half. But of course, the risk is very much a worry, but the reward could see NaVi bounce back into a 4-4 scoreline. So they're rolling the dice here. Are they going to get Snake Eyes? Well, so far Flamey has. He's dead and buried first. Seas will be coming up through the short side, but it's going to be right into the embracing arms of Rubino, who will get that kill. All day, every day. It was looking a little bit awkward as he pulled out his smoke. But in the meanwhile, the AWP is going to town alongside the rifles. Cajun B is going to land 1. May very well get the last as well onto Guardian, who's stuck in the apps. Nowhere to move. He's being tagged up left, right, and centre, but it's MSL that puts the final bullet in him. And now NaVi surely tap. Do not force here. There's no reason to do it. Flamey top fragging. He's on 8 kills. He's actually joint top overall, which is impressive considering his team is losing 5-1. Grenade does 1 HP worth of damage. Just nade things in CS. On to Simple, who has a deagle in his hands. NaVi hot off an impressive performance at ESL New York. Does beg the question if they fully recovered from that. You know, similar to what we saw from Virtus Pro last night. They're exhausted. I think it was Taz who also made a tweet about that. I'm curious if NaVi have fully recovered yet from all the travel. But what you can say is that Dignitas have been playing solid Counter-Strike. Take nothing away from them. NaVi will be back into a bye. But so far, their rifles have yielded no results. And Edward, who was the main player, really, for NaVi on Cobblestone, has been very absent here. Just 2 assists and nothing else. No kills. Simple's only got 1 kill. Very similar start to how Cobblestone went for them. Seized on 1 kill as well. Cajun, a flick onto Guardian's head, pixel perfect aim. Impressive start. One of the key men down as well. On the side of NaVi, that's going to really sting their opportunity and their potential now to get back into this round. Bombs dropped in the T-spawn. We'll see Edward just lurking out here, looking for a potential flash, but there's a spray from Rubino. And NaVi's fruitless, toothless attack will continue. It seems that Dignitas have their number. A couple of players actually chilling on opposite sides of the wall. Flamey is going to be coming around the corner. Magic isn't quite fast enough to pull back that frag. And now that opens up A nicely. Rubino does have the crosses. The smoke is starting to clear. But he's going to play passive and wise. And wait for the rest of his team to come in. It's also important to mention that the bomb is still at T-spawn. So even if they managed to get onto the site, they'd have had to have split up anyway to go back and retrieve this. In doing so, it would have lost them valuable time, but more importantly, valuable real estate. And the fact that Flamey's teammate has now died now puts him in such a bad position to try and retake the site once more. Now, has that run back to T-spawn faked out the CTs? It seems like it has. He's made up a little bit of ground as a result. He will be able to get the bomb planted, which is at least going to take the economy forward. That being said, they don't really need it. They've got full round loss bonus coming out. And Flamey, he actually landed the headshot onto Rubino in CT spawn. That's disgusting. Not that it makes any difference, but he just flicks to his left-hand side. Domes Rubino. 7-1, though, will be the score, so I can't get too hype about that, really. It has been incredibly one-sided. Cajun B, 12-3. I mean, Flamey, if it was a 2-on-1 and Flamey picks up both those kills, I'm going mad. I'm losing my voice, but it was a sexy frag. Didn't really amount to much, though. Bomb plant's decent, but as I said, they already had A lot of round loss coming in. Guardian, though, that's one hell of a shot onto Config. One of the first times we've really seen NaVi get the opening pick on this Mirage T side. Can they convert? Rubino tossing out the incendiary, hoping that a terrorist would go out into the open so we could finish them off with the A4, but instead, no one was home. MSL is going to connect the headshot. He's been playing really solidly over the duration of these two maps. It's been impressive. He's definitely been stepping up his game lately. Magic in Firebox is going to be okay for now, as there is Cajun's AWP that will be helping him out, that can easily peer into Palace, so his position is mainly going to be to watch the Tetris side of A. The flashes will force Cajun away, and this is where Magic's position gets a little bit more compromised, a little bit more worrisome, a little bit more precarious. Because now the execute is coming in, Magic has to play this one very well. You can see him just lurking, he's giving nothing away, and now he's been spotted, but he comes out with a very quick headshot onto Simple. Guardian answers back with another frag. Magic's too busy spraying into the smoke, but will still get the better of Edward. The bomb's dropped out on the site, and Guardian, who started this round off with a beautiful shot, gets a crazy flick. What is that, Guardian? Can he get any more? He's got 20 seconds left. Guardian finally starting to show up into this map, but there's Magic. Silences him. The sexy flicks are not good enough to carry his team to a round victory. 8-1. Crazy, crazy shot. Edward still yet to get a kill. A very similar start to how we saw Cobblestone start to shape up as well. And that quickly got away from NaVi. I'm thinking this one may very well do so too. And Cajun in midair tries the shot. Magic in the meanwhile goes for the spray down. He's tagging up players through smoke. Magic with 3. Config takes the 4th away from him, but Dignitas will not care at all. They are putting bullets to faces. And Simple will get a consolation kill, but that's all it's going to be. NaVi now trail by 8 rounds. They'll have another bye here. Just NaVi haven't shown up today. I think it's safe to say these guys are still... Maybe their minds are still in New York. I have no idea what's going through their minds, but it clearly isn't translating well to Counter-Strike. So, another mid play. The one round that NaVi have picked up so far did come off the back of a great trade in mid. So they're clearly just going back to what worked earlier. Edward through connector sees Magic all by himself. No one's even remotely close from the CT side. They smoked off jungle, which kept Config at bay. He's currently there, and Cajun's made a trek through onto the CT box side. Edward is going to come out for a second kill. So when it rains, it pours for Edward. No kills, and then suddenly 2 in the space of a few moments. Flamey's going to put down the hammer onto Cajun, leaving Config in 1 on 5. Picked up 1 kill. But that's all he's going to get from this. And NaVi will double their digits. So both their rounds have came off the back of a mid play. I wouldn't even say an execute, just super aggression. Dropping the 1 smoke, pushing all through it. Getting up connector. Magic must have been wondering what the hell happened. And suddenly was shot in the back from connector side. Oh, Config down to 70. Gets wrecked by one of his teammates. Bit of a love tap. This will be a brutal round though for NaVi to lose. If they can't hold on to this. Flamey's confrontation was pretty important, but now MSL is by himself. He has to trek back to B and hope and pray that his teammates can get back in time, but he's actually going to drop the bomb out. Why is Edward going in first with the bomb? That makes no sense. The kills are being changed. Traded back, Cajun being Guardian, both land AWP frags. But NaVi still trailed by a player now. Make that 2, it's all on Guardian. The guy is crazy with the AWP, but is he crazy enough for a 1 on 3? First kill has been landed, misses the second shot. And will now try and fake out that second player. He knows one of them's kitchen. It stands to reason that There should be 2. I think I may have even heard footsteps as well. But he's clearly not 100% sold on that. Plus the fact that he's been flirting with the kitchen area. There's a chance that one of these players could have jumped through window onto short and then wrapped their way through from there. So Guardian's not taking anything for granted. He's going to be peeking back into kitchen again. Misses the shot. That could cost him his life now. Maybe pushing in. Misses yet another one. It's going to end up losing NaVi the round. The thing is, Guardian is so good that when he misses shots like that, you're disappointed. You kind of expect him to land them because of what you know he's capable of doing. And I'm sure he feels the same way. It's like, how am I not clutching that round? How am I not at least taking it down to a one-on-one? As it stands though, Dignitas will break NaVi again. And you can see the effect that has with a Galil and a Tech 9. Interesting peek by Magic, especially through the flames. Very aggressive. And he will come out worse for wear. So now that's another gateway for NaVi to try and work on. If they can honestly pick up 5 rounds and win the pistol, I think they're in shape to maybe take this to Dignitas again. But there's a lot of maybes, ifs and buts. A lot of way back into this game before that becomes a reality. And the first obstacle is taking this round, and that's not going to be as easy as they may hope. 4 players left. A very aggressive push though from MSL. Sees him watching the opening into B apps. Thing is though, NaVi could get themselves down into underpass. MSL would hear that if they ran, but here they go. They're going to be coming in right here, right now. Simple's taking point for his team. He's going to get headshotted down. MSL has the opportunity now to lock this one out. The smoke has landed, and it will cover the doorway. So the bomb now dropped in a really horrible place. Cajun B in the meanwhile is holding it down with a 5-7. Lands a frag onto Seized. And NaVi are crumbling further and further away from any kind of a retake coming in. Any kind of a comeback. MSL's done great work in the B apps with his aggressive push. And now Flamey, all that remains. Wants to save his M4, stabbing the ground probably in frustration. Dignitas are in such a commanding lead on their CT side of Mirage. Let's look at the scoreboard. Cajun 16-5, Magic 12-5, MSL 10-5. There's a huge gap between the top 2 fraggers for NaVi and then the bottom 3. Collectively, both Guardian and Flamey have more kills than Simple, Seized, and Edward put together. How mad is that? Between the 3 of them, you only have 9 frags after 14 rounds of Counter-Strike. Absolutely nuts. Cajun with 2 kills. Again, there may be external factors as to why that is with all the travel they've gone through. Rubino lands the spray down, headshotting Edward out. Mid control has been taken. Simple and Seized. Make that just simple. Oh, he's close to landing something here through the smoke, but he's eating a lot of damage in the process, down to 18. Tasty one tap. Magic gets dispatched with haste and with style. All too easy for Simple. Issue is for Simple, that's 1 player down, 4 to go. And he has 18 health. Come on, Simple. Let's see some magic from you, bro. It's been a really poor day at the office for NaVi. Shades of the Dust 2 AWP fake. Throw the M4, hope for the best, but Dignitas are having none of it. Last round sees NaVi with an AWP and not much else. And yeah, as some of you guys are highlighting in chat, fact of the matter is NaVi only a couple of days ago were in New York, winning ESL New York, flying back to Europe. I mean, they've had a brutal couple of days in terms of schedule, so if these guys are having an off day, you can understand it, honestly. I'm not going to hold that against them. They're only human after all. Who knew? Config spots out, gets the kill. Edward in the meanwhile will put down Config. A bit of comical playing connector with two of NaVi fighting amongst each other as to who was going to get the kill. Three players remain though for Dignitas, and we've already seen them clutch from these positions so many times. No luck for Rubino, no reason for Magic to save. He's going to be going in for this one. Last round of the half, of course. So there's the first one. Any more going to be offering itself to Magic Boy? Would love to see him clutch this. It'll be something truly special, but the bomb is sticking down ever so fast, and it's not going to matter. Headshot delivered. NaVi will trail 3-12 at half time. Dignitas are so close to this 2-0, which would put them into such good shape. I'm going to have another quick check of the league, because a lot of you are curious as to where the standings are right now. So let's refresh that. Taking forever, of course. Yeah. Currently, Dignitas are joint 4th place. Pardon me, joint 2nd place. There's 4 teams in 2nd place currently with 39 points. NaVi are in 9th with 33. It should be mentioned, though, that Virtus.pro in 2nd place have played 24 matches, and this would only be NaVi's 20th. So they have 4 games in hand over VP. They have 2 games in hand over the majority of the other teams in the league. So yes, they're in 9th, but to put things in perspective, right now, they're only 6 points behind 2nd place. The top 6 teams will go through to the offline finals. The LAN, of course. So it goes to show how incredibly close this is. So again, from the 2nd place all the way down to the 9th place, there is 6 points in it, which is effectively 2 wins. Yes, NaVi would have liked at least a 3-pointer out of this best of 2 or separate best of 1s. But they can still pull it back. Right. Now, teams have came back from this deficit before. It's not out of the realms of possibility, but this would require NaVi to take this pistol. Of course, still in warm-up, guys. Can you Sadikist? Can I do what, Sadikist? Actually, I'm not sure I want to ask that question, because there's going to be some cap of pride, right? That's a handsome dude, though. Rip Guardian. Terrorists win. Killer Rap God. Man, I'm so laid back. I'm basically laid down all the time. I can't Rap God. I don't have enough energy for that stuff. I'm too chill, bros. Where is this Guardian in regulation, though? He's like landing all the sexy shots now. Oh! Have my babies, Guardian. You warm-up hero. Yeah, lounging. Indeed. There's round difference matter. It very well could matter if we have a bunch of teams that are equal on points come the end of the league. So yes, they do matter. So let's say that we have like 2 or 3 teams that are equal in 5th and 6th place. That's where I think round difference would come in. What's the actual score? It's 12-3 on this map, and Dignitas took the first map of Cobblestone 16-8. Yes, I am streaming from home, indeed. We need cat cam, even if it's not your cat. You what, mate? Here we go anyway, second half between Dignitas and NaVi. NaVi desperately require this round. If they want any chance at getting back into this, it has to start right here and it has to start right now. They do have 2 smokes and 2 flashes on the side of Dignitas for a set play onto A, which is where the majority are congregating at this current point. And I believe they're just about to let go of the smokes. Indeed they are. Here come the flashes. And here comes the push. Guardian's in a pretty solid position here on the staircase. There's the first one, second one. Unreal headshots. Having to adjust his aim. In mid-air. In flight. 3 on 3. NaVi in the meanwhile, though, are keeping themselves steady into this round. So, look at this, though. The terrorists like, alright, see you, boys. We're going to be through mid. Deal with it. Nicola, I didn't lie to you, bro. It's almost like I have no control over what happens in these matches. Rubino, MSL, up against Flamey and Seized. The tag team duos. NaVi have been winged a little bit. With Flamey down to 13. Seized just ate a bullet from Rubino. From the B-App side. And there's a beautiful one-tap from MSL. And now Flamey surely has no hope. He doesn't have a kit. He doesn't have much health. He doesn't have much time. And he is going to die to Rubino. Dignitas take the second pistol and move one step closer to picking up all 6 points out of these 2 separate best of ones in the ESL Pro League. Nova. Config the Farmer is going to be coming in, trying to get rid of some vermin. Hunting for foxes, maybe. Not what you often see in these kind of rounds, but let's go with it. Simple jumps up. How did that do no damage to Simple or Seized? What? Where did that grenade land? It looked like it was going to land right next to both of them. What the actual hell was that? The camera did just like zoom away as I was looking into that one, but that seems pretty nuts to me. I thought that'd be like 50 plus damage at least. Config in the meanwhile in Underpass is scouting out onto Connector. Speaking of scouts, Guardian has one in his hands and he's going to be wrapping himself towards the B side. Problems for NaVi, they've stacked 2 players on B. And they're about to meet the match in terms of 5 players. Seized has played this very, very patiently indeed. Have a look from his position with the CZ. He's biding his time, but he's going to allow MSL this plant. So this rotation has yielded nothing in return. He's going to go for the... Oh, he gets the knife! He goes for the rotation and gets the knife and then sprays down with the UMP. What is happening? My brain has melted. How is C still alive? How did he get 3 kills? I thought he'd let that slip away. This round still isn't over just yet, though, because now Cajun B with a Mac 10. And Config with the Tech 9 puts Dignitas at 14-3. I mean, C's, that was some pretty epic play, mate, but the rest of your team let you down, mate. That second player that he knifed got the knife to the forehead as well. That would have been brutal. Right now, this should be Dignitas moving very briskly to the victory. NaVi into a couple of weapons, but nothing really that's going to stick, you have to assume. A solid performance for Dignitas is very likely coming to its close fairly shortly. Bomb in the hands of Cajun B coming up ramp alongside MSL. Also have Config behind them. And meanwhile Rubino will be peering out of Palace if they do decide to go for this. And meanwhile also, Magic's over on the opposite side of the map. I believe he's got the Mac 10. He'll be coming through Underpass. The idea is to out-rotate the rotators And it's going to be C's that could very well have Mac 10 shoved up his backside in the next few moments. Just watch out for the kill feed. Yeah, there we go. Magic kills C's with the Mac 10 and config beforehand onto simple. 15-3. NaVi have to save 12 rounds in a row. As good as they are, it's unlikely. They have not been playing too well today. Again, plenty of reasons to why that could be. But all we can judge is off this performance, and that would be that Dignitas has been by far the better team tonight. Flamey's about to see a lot of action. Lots of footsteps. Stampede of elephants charging in his way. Guardian with the UMP is getting himself to kill, but there's Rubino with a double spray down. And MSL, meanwhile, coming through Connector. Can't believe his luck as he switches to his smoke and sees Flamey just stood there. Wide and available. And then MSL turns his back. That's a bit odd. There's no Vive actually taken the round. It's the Mag 7 that comes out of nowhere. Dignitas conceded. You could see that MSL was watching for someone to rotate through catwalk side. But NaVi were a little bit more one-dimensional than that. Just pushing through together from CT boxes. And ploughing through the remaining terrorists. So there's 1 of 12 that was required. 11 more to go. Plenty of fire towards the mid boxes, and Guardian is interested. Has definitely piqued his curiosity. Meanwhile, Magic, who's consistently been in these kind of positions, Guardian had read the situation perfectly, but unfortunately wasn't able to pull the trigger in time. Burns a little bit on the retreat. A lot of action going down in mid. We'll see the terrorists doing a pretty solid job. I don't know why the camera just stuck to Guardian when he was nowhere near the action, but there you go. Just Go TV things. And in the meanwhile, seized in a 1-on-3. Can he pull out the good old pistol into knife routine that we saw previously in the pistol? Answer is a no. Dignitas are going to take it. In the end, 2 incredibly one-sided maps. And Dignitas have pretty much just escalated their way towards a potential qualifier spot. So congratulations to them. Commiserations to NaVi, who are probably still feeling the effects of their travel and their long journey home. But that's going to do it from us here today. NaVi will have to go back to the drawing board. They have some games in hand, though. They can still qualify. They can still get in the top 6 spots. There's no doubting that they'll still be favourites to do just that. They are one of the best teams in the world right now. Certainly the top 3. Maybe just behind SK. Some people would argue that they're actually better than SK. That's all down to your own personal opinion. But that's me done, guys. I'm going to be heading off for now. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll cut to music for a little bit and then we'll round the stream off. I think the next games I'll be casting on the B streamer next week. I could be wrong, but I will double check that and tweet if that's different. Anyway, have a nice night, guys. Take care.